that mythical being, the paper-free office. It has been cited, if only at the end of a rainbow, and there are plenty around it this this time of year. Kat Paz, though, has been researching ways to get a little closer to that pot of gold of an empty email inbox, and is here to give us some more tips on controlling your email so you get the most efficient use out of your working day. Welcome to the Mag, Kat Paz.
Thank you. Good morning. How good is this weather?
It's pretty... Well, it was great on the weekend.
Yeah.
Not so great now.
Not so great now. Yesterday was amazing. I ended up getting sun coma? Couldn't get out of the sun.
I call it sun-drugged.
Yes, that's it.
Sun-drugged.
Yeah, I was totally sun-drugged. Speaking of.
Speaking of drugs, because we were saying last week that working with these constant distractions is like working when you're drugged.
Yeah.
Not very efficient.
It's actually worse than working when you're drugged. Yeah, we are amazing human beings, aren't we? So
yeah, we're stupid as well sometimes. We want it all. We want it all. FOMO. Don't want to miss out on anything.
And then we want the perfection that comes with it. But then there's the FOMO and the perfection, and then what we have is chaos.
Yeah.
You know, as George Bush once said, he was so stunned. He said, "We'll work hard to restore chaos." I think that's how people are with emails. You know, it's there. It's so there.
It's a great quote, actually.
It is.
So speaking of restoring chaos, let's talk about these email inboxes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, you know, it's all about wearing two hats. So I'm getting these references from Cyril Peupion's book, and he's Australian, and he helps CEOs and everyone get organization in their lives. Now, if he's writing a whole book and advising people on it, there's a problem. And even small businesses, it's a huge problem. So, you know, you wear your processing hat and your thinking hat. And we tend to wear both. But to clear your emails, you can only wear one. And
I'm putting my hand up.
Okay.
What's the difference between processing and thinking?
The processing hat is the whole culling, you know, getting rid of emails, answering. The aim is to clear. The thinking hat, that's not a good one. I'll get back to that later, or I'll do that tomorrow, or, you know, but nothing happens. It just sits in the inbox.
Okay, so processing is doing, thinking is not doing.
Not doing. So, you know, thinking that's procrastination, really. You're feeding the procrastination monkey. You know, you have to keep your processing hat on.
Now I want a procrastination monkey.
Yeah. How cool would that be? But yeah, so the processing hat is about making as many email decisions as possible. So decide how much you're going to spend time on and put it in the calendar. So then you know, okay, it's processing time. Remember last week we talked about trying to get rid of 100 emails. Mm-hmm. So set the time and just put a processing hat on. And it means when you look at it, you have to either reply or you have to delete it. It just has to leave your inbox.
So it's like single handling. You take it, you do something with it.
Do something with it. So you can put it in your calendar. Sometimes people are like, can I have a meeting? And it's always good to just go, how about this? And then the other part is, if it's a task, use the tasks function in Outlook. So take the Nike approach. Just do it, you know, just really do it and do it now. So you can drag your emails into calendar and tasks, or you can right-click. We're talking Outlook only here, but you can right-click as well, and it says move to folder.
So we're talking about things like, could you please organize something, or, sorry, don't leave that in emails. Put that somewhere else.
Put that somewhere else. Put that in tasks, especially if you're wearing your processing hat. Because if you leave it, you've got your thinking hat on. So you have to be harsh, and a bit more harsh than you can imagine.
Well, it's maybe you do a bit smarter, because I often leave those task things in email. Because it's to remind me to do it.
Yes, exactly. And a lot of people do that. Now, we'll talk about what the inbox is not. And this is the best thing I love about this book.
I feel like I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah, you know, we should get someone else. We should get someone else, and then Jane, I'm going to ask you questions. Aren't you lucky? You know, because people, like you said, people say, oh, wow, I want to keep this email for something else, or I did not have time to do it. That's a thinking hat excuse. Or I keep it as a reminder of something. And I'm guilty of all of this. Or even then, I want to keep that person's details. You know, there's a contacts module. It's unfortunately artificial intelligence gets smart. So then we get lazy to use the contacts module. But I think that's really important. When you think about it, it's probably only 10 seconds to save someone's contact details. And sometimes that's the only reason why you're keeping the email, because they're like, nice to meet you. and you can give them little things, lady at the thing, sausage rolls.
Oh, like in the notes section.
Yeah, in the notes section.
Yeah, I do that on my phone, actually.
Yes.
So like aid map, because otherwise I'm going, who is this person?
See, our phones don't have that artificial intelligence to remember phone numbers and stuff, so we become more diligent. But with emails, it remembers an email address, especially if you respond to it. But if you don't respond to it, that's why people keep it in their inbox, because Outlook hasn't been taught that, you've interacted with this person.
So what about, because I'll going, I can't remember what their name was, but we were talking about something, and I can remember this other thing, whatever it was, and so I'll search for that particular word.
Yes, and if that helps, but I'd find Outlook's search function to be quite boring.
Boring?
It's funny.
It's not supposed to be sexy. It's a search function.
No, it's not. And it only just searches words. So there it is. Your inbox is not a filing system. You're not. When you're done with it, you're done with it. Be harsh. Create folders in Outlook, like the folders we talked about last week, and email it appropriately. And it's a folder based on not the person so much, but based on you. So don't say cat, but based on client work, or do it now, or to be done soon, or delegate. I have a virtual assistant who saves my emails, and I have to sort them, unfortunately, because she wouldn't know what the heck I'm talking about or in what context this email is about. But when I sort it, I have this thing that just says VA, and then she knows that, okay, that folder's for me. It's full. If it's full, I need to save those emails. So it saves me time as well. So delegation is important. So you see, I'm doing part of it. The delegation, there's two types. There's the task and the responsibility. I'm responsible really for the email if I need to respond to it. So that's a responsibility. But the task of saving it, that I can give to someone else because I'm done with it. So use the folders. Another thing is, it's not a task management system, the inbox. So we said use the tasks side of Outlook, and I think it's really good. I do find it's really good. You have to change your interface a little bit so your tasks are more in your face. And like we said, open your emails, set your emails to open on calendar. You can even set it to open on tasks, but not so much on inbox. It's meant to just get you going through the day, and then you don't end up becoming reactive. As we said, if it opens on your inbox, straight away people are like responding to emails, and first thing in the morning when they wake up, having their coffee, you're in your car waiting for someone, and then you end up late because you've been checking your emails. So it's not a task management system. Your inbox is not a contact management system. As we said, don't keep it because you need their details. Click save or drag to contacts and save it as you can, as and when you need it. You can only really search by name. That's where I was saying I find it really exhausting.
Really? I know. I often search for like a keyword.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like So whatever the keyword was, we were talking about the Neptune or something, or like Calbarry or whatever it was. You can often search for those things, and those words will come up.
Okay. See, I get it wrong. I search things that aren't quite dictionary based, like the business name. And I think that's where Outlook goes, okay, and I waste a lot of time searching. So, what about, I find emails as well save as accounts, reception at, or hello at, and that sometimes doesn't have the person's name. Mm-hmm. It just has the business name. Mm-hmm. So that's where it's not a contact management system, because maybe you've met Sarah, but Sarah runs, Procrastination Monkey, PTYLTD,
I find it useful though if I'm searching for I recently I wanted to use a business that I'd used like maybe 5 years ago.
Yes.
And going, now and we were talking about like promotional material, and I think I got mugs from them or something. So I'm going to use a word that I don't usually use in emails, like mugs or something. Yes. And then it will bring it all up, and sure enough, I found the email. It up. Yeah. So especially if you can't remember the name of the company or the name of the person. And especially there's a great scope for misspelling names of things. But if it's something else, like a mug or Calbarry or Neptune or something,
yes.
then it's easier to find. So I use it like that. But I guess once you've dealt with those emails, you can put it into another folder like
Yes.
dealt with it or archive.
Archive, put it in the context, but I guess, you're looking for people. So if you've got the processing hat on and you've got tasks to do, remember that we're processing the inbox. When you touch it in the inbox, it has to go somewhere. You can't just click out of it. This is where you get bogged down and you find yourself going down different paths and you're like, oh gosh, how did I end up here? Why did I end up there? So, get that going, and also get a CRM, which will track your email contacts for you.
CRM, for those not in the know, is a client relationship manager.
Yes. And we did that in, I think it was apps 1.0. So we'll link that as well to the apps.
Yeah, so there are a lot of programs out there that you can use to manage your clients and customers.
Yes.
You can put all their details in, the last time you contacted them, what it was about, the whole thing.
And it will even pick it up. Like when you add the CRM, Agile CRM, I use it for a second business I have, and I entered someone's details and bam, there it was. All the email correspondence came through for that contact. So it's kind of saving you the pain of having to clean up your inbox. And a CRM, I said I had a virtual assistant, but in my industry, we do have to keep certain correspondence. So that's why I process it first before it gets saved. But if you're not bound by those kind of industry guidelines, honestly, get a CRM and just put your emails into archive. And Outlook today actually has a deleting policy. You can tell Outlook, if it's in this folder, delete these emails after 5 years, which is the ATO requirement for keeping records. So then you don't have to then accrue so many emails. And Outlook Online, Office Outlook 365, you can only have 50 gigs per email. So you will be forced at that point, but 50 gigs is a lot to process. My music alone is 60 gigs. So, and I love processing my music. I do not want to process 50 gigs of emails.
No. Yeah,
my eyes are watering at the thought of it.
I know, like, wow, music or emails, there's really no contest.
Exactly. So, music, fun. But yes, so looking at that. And it's not a bin, the inbox. So be ruthless and just get rid of it. Delete it. Absolutely. And there's another function I found in Outlook, the desktop version. It's called reply and delete. So you know how there's reply all? There's a function there. It's a button that you have to activate through the ribbon section in the settings. It's called reply and delete. And that is when you reply, it will delete the original email in the inbox.
Oh, wow. That's great, because normally it's a trail anyway. It's got alert.
It's a trail. So I do that where there's no attachment in the original. Or people go, sorry, I don't understand. That's a reply and delete, because I'm going to reply to it and delete it. And obviously that's when you've got your processing hat on, because it's not available on the mobile site. I haven't seen it. I should find it. And it's not available on your phone. But at the same time, like I said, I have someone who saves my emails for me, so I CC them as well to whoever is saving my emails. So if she gets my CC'd emails, she saves those too. Then I know. So I use reply and delete, and then I CC the virtual assistants as well, because she's got another email in my inbox. It's worth me paying a second one every month than me having it all in one inbox. That just didn't work, because I was replying to an email and then it would go, that email is no longer available. I'm like, what? Because she was working on it. So that's a good delegation, I would say. The reply and delete is something I love.
I haven't even heard of it.
It's a great function. There's so much you can do on Outlook. I started YouTubing Outlook and it was just crazy. And that's how I ended up finding this book, because at some point I like to read things than to YouTube it, because YouTube is a quick tip type thing, and it's more if you just want to know in that moment. But for me, a book is a resource.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're making the most of it by sharing it with us, Kat.
I need
great.
a signed copy, Cyril.
Oh, my goodness. And, if you are getting lost in all of this discussion, because Kat's giving us a whole heap of information, you are able to head on over to the Taking Care of Business Facebook page, and we will put this on as a little soundbite.
Yes.
So you can also go and find emails 1.0.
1.0.
Which we did last week.
Yeah. And I mean, depending on the response, there could be 3.0 as well. We're going to finish this book, everybody. This is a lesson. Didn't
my
you love that in
goodness.
school?
Goodness. She's so bossy. No, I love it. It's great. We're doing this. Okay.
We are. Sorry, Jane.
No. It's terrific. I'm feeling nervous and so is my inbox. It's okay.
All right.
That's great. Thanks so much, Kat, for joining us and talking about emails and getting it under control. Oh, dear. There's only a little bit more.
Take the Nike approach, everybody. Listen to me. Take the Nike approach. Just do it.
We just want a little bit more chaos, don't we?
Yes.
Thanks so much for joining us. Taking Care of Business. We'll be back next Monday at 10:30.